I took with my, whatever your lordship says, with my courage, I went there, was surrounded by 4,000 people hailing Trinamool with all that green color on their face. They surrounded me. I have a security personnel with me. He informed the central forces that anything can happen here. Please do something. Simple thing is, why is this election required then? Trinamool is in power already. You are already giving sufferings to the people. Why more sufferings? I, being a citizen of this country, and in Bengal and others too, we have a right to live. We have a right to live. We give up our right to vote. We will not vote. With folded hands, we say we will not vote, but allow us to live. Lordship, I'm just mentioning the names because evidences are there with me. And if your lordship says on affidavit, I can produce the candidates, and not just from one political party, from various political parties, the opposition candidates can come and file their affidavits. Your lordship, my petition deals with the entire process of counting, which took place yesterday, and the post-poll violence, which is continuing. On page 4, your lordships, I have mentioned the incidents, a few incidents, because the petition was filed yesterday in the afternoon. So whatever data I got, that is there. Apart from that, your lordship, I will mention this, that through social media, I had circulated an email ID to people of Bengal, requesting them to come with their complaints on that email ID. Since yesterday night, I have received more than 250 emails. Now, lordships will also see that this election is a Gram Panchayat election, where people are not very hybrid. They are not used to the email process. Even then, 250 complaints are there since yesterday. Now, your lordship, if your lordship comes to page 4 of my petition.
Yes.
Paragraph 4, I'm just going to the A part and reading that, your lordship.
Yes.
In the district of South 24 Parganas, counting halls at Sonarpur, Vishnupur, Diamond Harbour have been compromised, and election agents of the opposition parties have been beaten, thrown out. There are names of 2 people who are the counting agents. Their medical reports are attested in my petition. More than 20 people from this particular counting area were admitted yesterday at NRS. I can give the medical report of all. Few are attested here. The next incident. Jaipur 2, Amta, Panchla, Havra blocks, Dhania Khali, Jangipara and Hugli, Shantipur and Nadia, Tejpur. I have immense evidence which I can prove. Then the next is at Jakcha. Thereafter at Ketugram. Lordship, I'm just mentioning the names because evidences are there with me. And if your lordship says on affidavit, I can produce the candidates, and not just from one political party, from various political parties, the opposition candidates can come and file their affidavits. Now the difficulty is, your lordships, this is a similar situation which we had witnessed after the post-poll which happened in 2021. What had happened? Election process over. We also said that whatever is the counting process is over, you are declared a winner. Now let people stay in peace. It is their right to live, but that was denied to them. Continuous violence took place. People were killed. They were thrown out of their houses. Similar thing is happening today. In the complaints which I have received, people are crying. They are saying that the usual practice of Bengal, which is there, that if you have lost the election, you can't go back to your house. They attack your house. They take over the possession of your house. Your shops are destroyed. You have to flee from that village. You cannot enter back. Now the blame game. On the last occasion, when I came before your lordships, I said that who will take the blame? State government will say the law and order is not in our hand. It is in the hand of State Election Commission. Where will these people go to file their complaints? Police useless. It has already been proved. There's no point going to the DG. So in 2021, a committee was formed. Under your lordship's guidance, it was the state legislative SLSA. So here the people came, they gave their complaints. Based on those complaints, your lordship saw that everything was true. And they were the police was ordered, the DG was ordered to get these people back to their houses. Similar is the situation now. There has to be the SLS's interference where these people can go and file their complaints. Because I coming every day with 500 or 200 complaints will not solve the problem, because this is entire Bengal's problem now. There are videos, your lordships, and this is not that I'm speaking at large or at length. The facts, only the facts. Women candidates have been pulled by their hair yesterday in the counting stations and thrown out. And not to your lordship's surprise, who were helping in doing all this? The police. The police threw them out of the counting stations and said, you all are not required to their dorka nahi pali ijazat. Get out. You are not required to be here. Then what is the point of counting? One particular incident, since I appear in person, I would like to mention this, that yesterday at 6 o'clock, I was called by the locals from Dhulagarh. There is a counting station called CCOM College. They told me that police has thrown all the opposition out. None of us are here. But the MLA, Priya Pal, from the ruling Trinamool Congress, she was inside. She took out the ballots where in the first round, she saw when people were inside, she saw that they are losing. Thereafter, she threw them out. She took out the ballot. She ate it with a bottle of water. So hungry they are. Not that. Thereafter, nobody was allowed. So the counting had stopped. Then when people called me, I continuously did all my effort to speak to the CAPF, to speak to the police. The Commissioner of Police, Praveen Tripathi, did not answer the call. I took with my, whatever your Lordship says, with my courage, I went there, was surrounded by 4,000 people hailing Trinamool with all that green color on their face. They surrounded me. I have a security personnel with me. He informed the central forces that anything can happen here. Please do something. After 20 minutes, the CAPF, RPF people came. They entered the polling station. Thereafter, few agents, because by the time everybody fearing for their life, they had left the place. They entered inside. Thereafter, the counting started. Whole night, the counting continued. But what is the point? The agents, they could not participate in the process. And by that time, everything was over. Your Lordships, I will not go more on it. The simple thing is, why is this election required then? Trinamool is in power already. You are already giving sufferings to the people. Why more sufferings? I, being a citizen of this country and in Bengal and others too, we have a right to live. We have a right to live. We give up our right to vote. We will not vote. With folded hands, we say we will not vote, but allow us to live.
Yes, my lord. In my affidavit, my lord, I have also taken this point. My lord, post-poll violence, my lord, in my affidavit.
Yes.
My lord,
19. Para 19.
para 19, my lord, just look out, post-poll violence. I say after the declaration of election result and ruling party supporters have started violence right from the counting centers and are threatening the opposite party supporters to setting their houses at fire and to oust them from their respective dwelling houses. In this connection, Election Commission may be directed to ensure peaceful and smooth leading of life to each and every person and to direct Election Commission to stop violence either by hook or crook. And my lord, 20, my lord, writ petition. 22, my lord, repolling. My lord, I submit that the supplementary affidavit may be treated as a part of the main writ petition. To repoll Panchayat election, 50,000 booths in West Bengal, my lord. Repolling is very much needed because, my lord, if the Panchayat vote is a constitutional process, it comes after every 5 years, then, my lord, the mandate, the people who went to vote there, my lord, it is also the constitutional process. And, my lord, one constitutional process cannot be stalled for other constitutional process, my lord. That is my findings. And, my lord, school, my lord, few schools, they have been ransacked, my lord. Schools and the schools have been, my lord, destroyed.
That you have said in page.
I have said.
50.
We need
Just in continuation of what I was praying for by way of interim reliefs, just 2-3 other things, my lords. Many more horrendous things are being said. I understand today it's been reported that even some central forces have been impersonated by people and they have gone and stood there as though they are central forces. This kind of a thing has been going on. I think, my lords, in the fitness of things, there has to be some kind of a scrutiny or forensic audit of ballot papers, CCTV footages, and the videographs. And one more thing, my lords, again, an earnest submission for my lord's consideration. I think we have crossed the stage of merely reports from the SEC. I think someone has to take personal responsibility. Please call upon the SEC to be available to my lords and give answers. Because I would respectfully submit, my lords, the nature of the problem which has occurred now is now something which is very serious. And this is notwithstanding orders of court. I would respectfully submit, my lords, that has been.
FIR should be lodged against the, my lord, Election Commission itself also, against him and his main managers. Why not, my lord? If the dates have been happened, my lord, because the Election Commissioner is the powerful authority at the time of election and at the time of counting. If the dates, he should be responsible, my lord, and his main agents. So I have taken this point also, my lord. It should be considered. And my lord had told about the medical facility. My lord, these points have also been taken, my lord. I don't know whether you have filed any report or not before the my lord. That should be.
What is your response to the Election Commission?
Then, my lord, in polling stations where presiding officers and their diaries had reported destruction of ballot boxes, vitiating the poll booth captain, etc., we've taken those into account. Then, my lord, polling stations where complaints, my lord, in serial number 2 were received, my lord, from the observer, from the district panchayat election officer or the panchayat returning officer, we took that into account. And, my lord, in polling stations where polling percentage was 15% more or less than the average polling percentage of the block, my lord, we have taken that into account. And, my lord, in all polling stations where 10 or more tender votes were cast, we've taken that into account. And, my lord, it is on this basis. But, my lord, this apart, my lord, we've also looked into footages of CCTV camera video recordings. Well, lord, minutes of post-poll scrutiny were prepared, signed jointly by one of the panchayat returning officer. And, my lord, there's videography. But, my lord, yes, I don't want to discount, my lord, what my lord is saying.
But
Because 2 days, my lord,
there's so much of, see, we have passed some orders. Whether those orders have had any effect on the.
No effect.
No.
No effect.
well, lord,
Just orders, my lord. No effect.
This, my lord, that I, my lord, do not want to countenance anything that has happened.
No central force in 50,000 booths, man.
Well, your lordships had, my lord, passed an order. Well, directing deployment of sector force. Well, we had expressed, my lord, our apprehension to the lordship that, my lord, the numbers are not sufficient to cover all the booths. Well, then your lordships, my lord, passed an order directing that no, not booths, but premises. That will have to be covered. Well, there were about 44,000 odd premises, about, my lord, 61,000, my lord, police personnel, my lord, Central Armed Reserve Police personnel, my lord, who would have, my lord, been deployed. But, my lord, not all of them breached on the polling day.
That's because there was an initial delay.
Yes.
Rightly so, you are entitled to file an appeal. Nobody can prevent you from filing an appeal.
Enough to
My lord, we
Pass
intend to
orders.
come up, my lord, with a very detailed report about what has happened, my lord, the mischief, my lord, that has been committed insofar as, my lord, the deployment of central forces are concerned and misleading the central forces are concerned. There has been constant non-cooperation, my lord. We intend to come up with that report in the 330 contempt matter, my lord, because those orders were passed in the contempt application. So, my lord, we will see, my lord, what has happened. We are making it a very detailed report and we will be placing it before your lordship, my lord. We have asked, my lord, the nodal officer to remain present also, my lord. But I understand, my lord, considering the gravity of the situation, my lord, the State Election Commissioner should also remain present here, my lord, personally at 3:30. Let the queries be answered before the honorable court. Public money, my lord, has been plundered, my lord. We airlifted, my lord, the forces, my lord, from Leh. We got them here. They were, my lord, initially made to sit in the strong room instead of being deployed. This is the degree of non-cooperation. Till date, my lord. No sensitive booth, my lord, no address, no details. Nothing has been supplied to us. Despite repeated insistence. Till date, nothing has come, my lord, from the end of the State Election Commission, my lord. We have requested in writing several times. Let us know about the booths, not only the number of booths.
But is any officer of the Election Commission present here today?
Well,
Some fairness in procedure at least.
no, well, I, my lord, I am.
And it's very disheartening to hear the Deputy Solicitor General say that the order was no part of the expenses should be charged to the state.
No, of course. Well, if today, well, there is substance in the allegation.
You can't see, the thing is,
Have to, well, respond.
there are
But had I
if
appeared,
a party to a proceeding is not agreeable to any part of an order, there is an appellate forum available. Once you can test the correctness of that order. If that appellate forum gives a seal of approval, the only option is to obey the order. That is why we repeatedly use the expression letter and spirit. So if the order is sought to be made unworkable, then it's a very sad state of affairs.
It is a very serious allegation, but we have to respond to it. But give us, what is there in the report. We have to respond to it naturally. I don't want to shy away from that.
Let him come. Personal appearance is very much needed, my lord. Election Commissioner.
You made your submission, sir. We
My
have
lord.
heard you.
Well, if responsibilities are to be affixed, that will have to be done. But let us first see the report and respond to it. Well, because it is ultimately, so far as the report is concerned, there appears to be affixed the instructions which they appear to come. But your lordship, but we'll have to, I understand we'll have to respond to only whatever the Are the
So
charges-
state is not able to control the law and order problems. They say the people went on rampage. Policeman is injured. There's a photograph. State policeman is injured.
I would, my lord, very humbly request your lordships to, my lord, direct my learned friends to, my lord, have the copy of the report.
That report, it's in the other contempt application.
But, my lord, so far as these, my lord, 6,000 booths are concerned, kindly give us 2 days time. Kindly give the matter on Friday. Let us look into all these and, my lord, come back.
Adjudication into this particular issue, my lord, is the need of the hour. I fail to understand why my learned senior friend is feeling so apprehensive and praying for time, my lord. Let the report come. Let us place the report, my lord. Let someone be there, my lord, from the State Election Commission to answer the queries of the Honorable Court. Because there will be queries which will come from the Honorable Court. But